Cooling systems are one of the biggest things that could kill these Jaguars, and if you ignore them long enough, you'll end up cooking that engine. Depending on the water pump that's installed on your Jag, some of these come with plastic impellers, and those can crack and fail. What's up you guys, my name is Jesse and welcome to Keeping These Jags Purring. In this video, we're finna be refreshing the cooling system on my 2001 Jaguar XJR. We're gonna be replacing the water pump, and since we're draining the cooling system, we might as well replace the thermostat, also the serpentine belt, and the supercharger belt. I mean, these parts are old, and honestly, I don't know when's the last time they were replaced. So we might as well do it, playa, before this Jag overheats on me, or asks for something else. So, let's get to it. Alright, so before lifting the Jag up and draining the coolant system, I suggest loosening the bolts on a few things here first. You want to loosen the bolts on the thermostat housing, the electric cooling fan, water pump pulley, and the water pump itself. That way you're not tippy-toeing and working on the Jag like that. Feel me? Like, I'm short. I ain't trying to be tippy-toeing. A grown-ass man like myself shouldn't be tippy-toeing. Also, a lot of these bolts are difficult to remove, and you want to make sure you're able to do this repair before you drain the coolant system. A bolt could be seized or very difficult for you to remove, and then maybe you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this today, or I need other tools to take care of this job. So do that first, playa. Let's get to it. There are three 10mm bolts holding the thermostat housing. Start with the lower bolt. That one's the toughest, for real. I actually had to tap the wrench with a hammer to break it loose. Then, use a 10mm deep socket for the top bolts. Now let's remove the cooling fans so we can get better access. There should be a 10mm bolt on each corner. Mine is held down by zip ties because the previous owner didn't have the bolts. You want to be careful using bolts that are too long. They can damage the radiator. And that's going to cost you $800 for a brand new one. Pull the fan upwards and unplug the connectors. I was able to disconnect mine from on top, but if you're having a difficult time, you might have to get underneath the car and unplug them. Now let's remove the supercharger belt. Use a 1/2-inch ratchet to release the tension. I slid the floor jack handle over the ratchet to get more leverage. Before removing the belt, make sure you remember the routing. But don't worry player, I got y'all. I'm finna show you a belt diagram later in the video. While the serpentine belt is still installed, loosen the water pump pulley bolts with an 8mm deep socket. Then, loosen the belt tension using a deep socket. Honestly, I forgot the correct size. I think it's a 13mm, but if anyone knows, please drop it in the comment section. Use a low-profile floor jack and lift the car from the front subframe. And always make sure that the car is safely supported with jack stands. The radiator drain plug is located on the lower left corner of the radiator. The plastic knob is flimsy. Don't force it, you could break it. It's better to grab it from the base with some vice grips. Once you break it loose, coolant will start draining. I also recommend replacing the O-ring on the drain plug. Now we can finally remove that water pump. There are 5 8mm bolts you need to remove. There are also 2 other 8mm bolts nearby that are part of the housing. You don't need to remove those. Once the pump breaks loose, expect more coolant to spill out. Since we already loosened the thermostat housing earlier, now we can remove it completely. Use a flathead screwdriver to pry the old thermostat out. I was able to find a replacement thermostat with the gasket at O'Reilly's. Yeah, I know, I was surprised. They had it in stock, and it's honestly the closest match I could find to the original. Before installing the new parts, clean all the mating surface properly. Any leftover gasket material can cause a leak. Now we can install the new water pump. Always thread the bolts in by hand first. Personally, I like adding a small dab of RTV with the gasket. You don't have to, it's not in the instructions, but I like playing it safe. I don't want the pump to start leaking once I fill it up with coolant. Torque the water pump bolts evenly to 13 Newton meters, not foot-pounds. Then reinstall the pulley and torque those to 12 Newton meters. If you can't fully torque the bolts yet, you can tighten them after reinstalling the belt. And honestly, I highly recommend you guys replacing the belts while you're in here. I'll leave links to the parts that I use in the video description. Now we can refill the coolant system and bleed out the air. I use 2 gallons of 50/50 Xerix American vehicle coolant. Yeah, I know it's a Jaguar, it's European, and that might be confusing, but Jaguar was owned by Ford during this time, and this is the coolant that meets the specs. With the coolant reservoir cap off, start the car and let it idle for 10 minutes so it can reach operating temperature. Once it gets up to temp, install the cap and turn the heater on full blast. Let the car idle for about another 5 minutes. That should help bleed out the air out of the system. After that, let the car cool down completely. Then check the coolant level one more time before driving the Jag. Never skip this step, trapped air can cause overheating. No leaks, no belt noises, temperature is good, Bruh, this is the kind of maintenance that keeps your Jag alive for a very long time. Preventive maintenance is key when it comes to owning these Jags. Alright, if y'all found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Late.